Diabetes is an epidemic. Obesity is an epidemic, and obesity is driving the diabetes epidemic.
Again, why do we worry about diabetes? Most people will not die of high sugars. That's not what kills you, but it's all of the complications of diabetes that's the problem here.
If all you do is say you're diabetic here, I'm going to teach you how to prick your finger, take this pill, I'll see you in a couple months, and we're making some progress, but not really the progress we really need to.
One of the things that I really want to do, and this is my main goal for today, for all of you, I want to make you think. I want to make you ask some questions, and I hope that you leave with one or two good pieces of information.
In collaboration with some of the local markets, the Times Free Press and To North Shore, which is all about the synergy of health. That's what we want to do today in partnership with them, is to create something that people could come down and have an opportunity to learn. Targeting really two groups. One is a patient that is early diabetes or has a history of diabetes in their family, to where they can learn how to be preventative and not ever get to that point. And for people that have diabetes to understand, have knowledge about it, to where it's not so scary and it's not so hard to talk about, that they can take control of the disease. With just every bit of the puzzle that we put together today, hopefully they could take home and change their life and change their lifestyle so they can live with it more effectively and live longer.
Our lifestyle is completely different than it was 100 years ago. Okay, picture on the left. That was my family, the Moody's, back in Kansas in the late 1800s. Guess what they did? They were farmers. They worked outside all day. You see them on a horse there. Of course, today's world, the Jetsons world, where everything is done for us by machines, and we just sit back and enjoy the good life, right? I really think that it's important to kind of look at this concept of how were we designed. We were clearly designed for movement and activity and for a completely different diet than what we have now. When I was a kid, back in the 70s, when you went into a convenience store, you didn't find these in there. Do you remember those days? There was no self-serve soda machines. I think this is one of the greatest things that's contributed to obesity is the self-serve soda machine. I remember the big gulps at 7-Eleven when they came around, and boy, that was incredible. Because up until then, all you could get was a little 8-ounce. You can't get any calories in an 8-ounce soda. You need one of these. I've got a TV up there for a very good reason. TV is killing us. It is destroying our society. It's destroying ourselves. And not only TV, but anything that has a screen. There have been some very interesting research in the past 5 years in children looking at one thing and one thing alone, and the risk of diabetes for them later. Screen time. The time they spend in front of any kind of screen, whether it's TV, whether it's computers, anything. And the number of hours a day that a child spends in front of a TV directly correlates with their risk for diabetes.
And you can look here at the percentage of people who are obese in the United States in 1994 and the percentage of people with diagnosed diabetes. The darker, the higher the number. And you can see that it overlaps quite a bit, obesity and diabetes. Now I want you to watch the progression as it goes through the years. 2000, 2001, look what's happening. 2004, 5, 2007. So what's the big deal? Why do we worry about it? Well, diabetes can cause problems over the long term. It's a very insidious condition. It's a leading cause of blindness. It's a leading cause of people going on dialysis. Very common. About 50% of people with diabetes will develop nerve damage or peripheral neuropathy. It's a leading cause of amputations. Cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart attack, diminished circulation in the arms and legs, mostly legs.
So we really do try to focus on treating the whole individual. Chronic diseases don't get treated very well by traditional medicine. because there's a lot of things going on that's difficult to treat with one medication. Now, your body makes upwards of 1 billion cells every day. Who can tell me where the raw material comes from for those cells that your body makes? What you eat, what you drink, and what you breathe. You have the least control over what you breathe, but you have 100% control over what you eat and what you drink. If you're asking your body to perform at top level and you're not putting good raw material in it, you're giving it broken, twisted, and warped 2x4s, don't expect a strong house. What you eat absolutely matters. Well, education is the key and knowledge is power. And so what this is doing is this is helping people get that information. Diabetes is a disease of management and self-management, and having the knowledge and the power to do that, to manage these things, diet and exercise and medications, helps them manage the disease better and prevent the complications from the disease.
Self-management. We want patients to be involved in taking care of their own diabetes and have the right tools in order to be able to do it. It involves checking your blood sugar, following a meal plan, as we talked about earlier with Dr. Moody, getting regular exercise, and taking the medication faithfully.
Some people, and a lot of people I see, want to exercise but can't. Their heart's too bad. Lungs are too bad. Back hurts them. Exercise is crucial, but if you can't do 30 minutes, do 2 minutes. Do 2 minutes 3 times a day. Do something. But if you're out of shape and you do that every day for a couple weeks, a couple months, you'll be able to add a minute to it without getting short of breath. We're in this thing for the long haul. They take baby steps each and every day, but it's persistence and slow and steady that helps with this.
Okay, one thing that we can do clearly, and this was a big study, the Diabetes Prevention Program study. Very interesting. They followed people for almost 3 years. They gave some group, they just gave them a pill and said this is going to cure you and make your sugars better, and they watched them. The other one they gave metformin, which is a diabetes medicine. It's usually first line for diabetes and even pre-diabetes. The other one's got intensive lifestyle changes only, no medications. And the lifestyle people did better. They had a 58% drop in their progression to diabetes versus those taking pills alone. My point is, and you'll hear this again later on, you may have to take pills, but boy, making some major lifestyle changes can drastically and dramatically influence the disease process.
I think this is one of the best things that as a community these things are organized and doctors have spent their time to come and educate people. I think education is the best key to controlling everything, because when we go to the doctor's office, they hardly have 2 minutes to work with you or tell you, and then they send you somewhere, you know. And then you have all these myths you read up on the internet and everything, you know. It's not a complete picture, but today's program, I like the way it was totally described. A holistic approach to it, you know, and then it's not an end to itself, how you can manage it. It's a manageable disease, you know.
You know, learn, educate yourself, take care of yourself. Don't just listen to what the TV says. Don't listen to what other people tell you. Actually educate yourself. Understand what your doctor's telling you. Understand what a product is offering you. Read labels, pay attention. And that way you can be your own physician, you can be your own doctor, you can be your own helper. Make sure that you have a better life.
I just feel like there needs to be a drive to want to learn more to take care of themselves. There's just a big issue with apathy, and I don't know where we really need to start with that, if it needs to just go ahead and start in the education, the school systems, and catch them a little bit younger to be more empowered to take care of themselves, A. And B, we've got to create through our hospitals and our educational systems more opportunities for people to come to learn more.